Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Swarm Grinder. It is a really slick looking, bullet heaven on kind of like an alien world. I haven't looked too far into this one. There was a demo for it at the last demo festival, but I didn't get to it because I think I was just busy. And I was hoping the demo would stick around longer than it did, but luckily it didn't matter because the game is coming out in early access in a couple of days, and so I get to try it out sooner than later. Okay, Gatling gun. Starts shooting rapidly in the direction of the nearest enemy. It shoots until there are no targets or if it empties its magazine. Fuel consumption. Oh, that's interesting. Automatic trigger or manual trigger. Trigger to enable an larger trigger circle. Generate an area that breaks or stimulates enemy cells. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, this is weird. So we want to grab power-ups then. Oh, but I have to kind of clear out the immediate vicinity? Wait, did I take some damage there? I might have. Okay, fuel consumption. You always consume fuel. If it drops to 0, you spend health instead. An overfilled tank will make you overcharged. Oh, that's interesting. Enemies might drop fuel when they die. Collect them to refuel your tank. Okay, drill field clear. Clear 25 fields to win the game. Oh, this is interesting. So we've got Gatling gun. So we've unlocked Mortar. Well, there's some fuel, which is good. I'm a little low on HP. And we need to just kind of churn through a couple of these guys. Grab some HP. And it looks like it's... these cells are actually just coming for me. So I guess I should be much more aggressive about expanding in that general direction. So this is barely a bullet heaven, and in fact uses kind of its own logic, and that's actually something I really appreciate. I play too many of these games that are frankly kind of derivative in a way that makes them super uninteresting. And it's a bit of a shame because like I really like the genre, but so many of them are just like, hey, but what if more vampire survivors? And I wish I could tell all of these developers that, like, we don't need more of that specifically. We need something slightly different, or very different. And so this one follows a lot of those kind of initial ideas, but also does its own thing to the point where it's honestly more kind of just top-down shootery. Okay. There we go. So we can get more mortar. I'm gonna keep grabbing these. Homing missiles. My only immediate problem is my fuel consumption is going up, and I'm not sure what to do about that. Either I need some upgrades, or there's... maybe I need to start picking those lower upgrade systems. Because, yeah, my fuel consumption is dire. Oh, and I've died. Well, that's fine. Let's see. So special upgrades skills. So let's restart. Yeah, I think we just need to be much more aggressive. I'm not quite sure how to, well, there's a drill right off the bat. Automatic trigger. Let's do the automatic one. Okay, clear the field. Oh, that's how this works. Okay. Okay, so we already know about homing missiles. Explosion chance. Proficiency with explosions. That's interesting. Yeah, so... I was playing way too... there we go. So we can upgrade this. Start shooting in the direction 1, 2, 3, and then S. Smaller but swifter magazines. Wider and farther, or damage of skills tagged with ST. So do we want burst gun? I don't know, I think I might just go for the, the minigun's almost kind of tempting. But let's just go for the single target damage for the time being. Alright. Snag this stuff and let's start heading for the nearest field. I want to be able to pick up as much of that, as much fuel as I possibly can, but it's a little tough. Let's keep grabbing Gatling upgrades. Ooh, ricochet count? Yes. Please and thank you. There's a bunch of fuel. And I'm just going to keep going in these general directions. Risky, I know. Oh! Vortex Blade. Whirling blade towards the closest enemy. Blade deals damage in an area. Only immediate problem is that fuel consumption is a smidge tough. And I'm having trouble actually getting to some of this fuel. Okay, we've got another one here. My HP isn't looking too dire yet. Okay, let's get a Vortex Blade upgrade. Stronger blades, less frequently, moving more than 2 seconds, movement speed is increased, projectile lifetime, but reduces damage. Let's go for that. Snag a bit of HP. And we want to just kind of cycle around this to make sure I get all of our fuel. Okay, this is definitely a little bit more bullet heavy than I thought. The real thing is I need to go very quickly. Okay. I'm not too convinced by the blade. It seems decent. But not, like, amazing. Okay. This is a bit dire. At least I've got the durability to kind of tank it. We don't know what any of this stuff is. Let's see. 30% damage on all things. I like it. We've got another drill right up here. I'm just gonna charge forth. Oh no. Never mind, that was a mistake. Okay, so let's go out to the main menu for a hot second. Because if we do this, upgrades. Oh, locked for the demo. No! Well, I guess I gotta win first. So what other characters do we even have? I don't think we do. Well, alright. I guess I should actually check real quick. Do I have like a pre-access beta code? Let's see. Nope, doesn't look like it. So it looks like I'm locked to the demo mode until the game actually comes out of early access. So be it. Okay, let's do automatic trigger. Manual trigger is interesting, but doesn't really work for me. Okay, drill field cleared. Oh, right, I should probably say don't show me again. So I wasn't big on the Vortex Blade. Deadly projectile spiral pattern until it empties its magazine. Yeah, that sounds kind of fun. I'll have to get some upgrades for it. Okay, do we want more Mortar, Scatter Strike, or something new? You know, I'm going to focus on upgrading what I got. Magazine faster, but loads slower. Slower shooting and projectiles, but cooldowns shorter. Or homing. Yeah, I might as well give it the homing effect, just because. Okay, snag those before they go away on me. Okay, we definitely maybe need some AoE up in here. I think actually Mortar. The one problem is the more of these that I snag, the bigger or the higher my fuel consumption gets. I guess it's a trade-off. Because to some degree, obviously, I'm also going to be doing way more damage. Oh, no. Dang. Yeah, the problem is I get swarmed, and then I'm in trouble. Okay. Automatic trigger. I'm gonna tell the tutorials to not show again. Because we don't need to see that anymore. Homing missiles, arsenal, which was just a 30% increase in overall damage. Arsenal again. Detonator. Oh, gosh. Oh. AoE damage. Heal on kill. Or global cooldown. I'm gonna go for the every kill heals. Okay, let's head for the next group. Unfortunately, we definitely need more weapons than just the Gatling gun, as it is a smidge on the weak side. I'm just gonna try and grab the homing missiles. It didn't work. Another point in arsenal wouldn't be a bad idea either. Okay, definitely digging the homing missiles overall. So let's keep cruising for several bruisings. This is cool. Like, just in terms of the risk-reward system of, well, I need to fight enemies, and I need to expand to get these drills. But if I do it too much, then I get swarmed, I get overwhelmed. Okay, Vortex Blade, let's grab this. Cleaver, swings blade in a pattern around me. Actually, that's pretty sick. And yeah, that extra healing is gonna go a long way. Ow, 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 ow. Grab a little bit of health. That's a lot of enemies. Grab what fuel we can. We do have an incoming wave. I'm going to try and clear this drill and then just clear the land around it. There we go. I think I'm going to upgrade my arsenal further. So reduce cooldowns, heal on kill. We've already got that. Count, but decreases damage of all AoE skills. I'm just going to go for global cooldown. Ooh, what is that golden rock? I have no idea. I'm assuming that's specifically... Okay. I'm assuming that's meta currency. If I would hazard a guess. The problem is we're not getting quite enough fuel. Okay, no, we're good. This rock is a tough bugger. Please die. Thank you. Whatever you're good for. Because there's no reason for me to have my cursor on anything. I'm not sure if I go for the health bonus in the future. Ow, ow, ow. Stay away from that. The heal on kill is nice, but it's super small compared to just picking up some hearts. Maybe. Mostly just hearts are pretty common, so why not? Okay. Let's just keep making our way over. Clear this out and get out of the way. I'd like to increase the range on the sword swing, if I can. But I think I'll go for the homing missile upgrade. Ricochet count. What does that even mean? They do just ricochet. Oh, that's cool. I love ricochet in games. Like, ever since Chocolate Milk in Binding of Isaac, I've recognized the value of it. Just in terms of, well, even if you miss, your shot might still hit something. And, if you're lucky, it's one of those where the ricochet will actually bounce from one enemy to the next, too. It is a solid upgrade that often doubles your DPS. Especially in this case with homing missiles. Oh boy, that's a lot of enemies. And yeah, we have another big rock, but I don't think I'm going to mess with it. I don't think I specifically benefit from breaking big rocks at the moment. Okay, stay away from the explodey boy. I wonder... Ow. Oh, it's fine. I was gonna say, I wonder if I can, like, bait it out. But without a dodge, I'm slightly out of luck on that regard. Slightly. Oh. There's a drill. What kind of upgrades are we looking at? Arsenal's interesting, but I think I'm gonna go for that cleave. AoE crit, bigger area, attack faster, less impact. I'm gonna just go for the bigger AoE. 15% is not as good as I was hoping it would be, to be honest. I mean, it helps. It helps a lot. But I was hoping for something a little bit bigger than 15. Now let's just clear the crowd out. There we go. I was just waiting for the explodey boys to clear them all out for me. Okay. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep kind of shaving off and going in circles. As long as I don't let the explodey boys get close, did we get a drill? Yes! Not only that, drills apparently do some damage. Cool. Oop. Don't get surrounded, don't get surrounded. Grab a cleaver. Movement speed, helicopter blades. Or even bigger area. I'd like to go for the extra damage, if I could, but honestly just going big AoE so it hits as many enemies as possible seems like a better idea for me. How many drills am I at? 8 out of 25! Oh, this is going to take some doing. Well, now that I'm starting to get some good AoEs, and the explodey enemies are starting to show up, we can actually be a little bit more aggressive about clearing out groups. But I would like to get one of the super upgrades. Oh, there's like a chaser type. That's a new one. Okay, let's get up here, clear this drill. Figure we might as well squish him. Okay, Gatling gun upgrade. Reload frenzy, burst gun, ricochet. There's no situation where I probably would not pick ricochet there. Maybe if it was a big damage up, but ricochet is effectively a double damage. At least in the moment. Still feeling kind of weak here, but it's fine. I mean, I'm sure this is going to be what meta progression probably handles later on. Oh, we're actually, like, at the upper reaches of this map. Alright, well, they're going to be chasing me for a while, so... Damn. Got bold. It's fine. Let's try that again. I liked the, spinny blade, but not as useful as I'd like it to be. Homing missiles were good, though. Okay, Gatling gun. Why don't we try and max out my Gatling gun? So, increase the damage of skills marked with... single target? Sure. Unfortunately, that didn't seem to really raise the damage on my Gatling gun. Bit of a downer. It did a little bit. It feels like it does more damage. Detonator. Perk, proficiency with explosions. Explosion damage, explosion chance. I don't know if that specifically gives this gun an explosion. I don't think it does. Which is a bit of a downer. Okay, Vortex Blade. I think I'm gonna head for that question mark. What do we got? Iron Sight. Crit damage and crit chance on enemies. Also adds new features to crits. Ooh. Kinda wish I knew I had that one. Okay, let's just go here-ish. Okay, Gatling gun again. Single target damage, burst gun, crit rate. I guess I'm gonna go for the crit rate, all things considered. Because if Iron Sights is going to give me a unique feature for crits. Okay, don't get surrounded, don't get surrounded, don't get surrounded. Iron Sight. Okay, burn crit rate, global crit rate, deadly focus. Not the greatest. I definitely need an AoE here. Otherwise, I'm kind of toasted. Because, yeah, at the moment, I do a little bit of crit. It seems like I might have an explosion when I crit. But that's about it. Alright, well, time to make some mistakes because this run is probably zonked. But you never know. Maybe I can go fast enough to avoid the consequences of my actions. No! How did I live? Nah. I kind of knew it. Let's see. Hey, Wander, been watching you for quite a while on YouTube. Haven't tuned into Twitch for a couple of years. Hey, can't blame you. I've been honestly having a little bit of trouble getting the time to stream on Twitch lately. Myself. Just been busy, and also just, I don't know. Been relishing having, yeah, let's go for the Mortar. We need a second one. So, ACT, skills that cast actively, or to actively attack enemies, AoE, CNT, amount of projectiles, and GL, global, and then fuel, obviously. Okay, so now that we've got the Mortar, it's not my favorite, but I think once we start running into the big hordes, the Mortar is probably going to be one of the better ones available. Especially if I can up its overall explosion. So burn chance increase, reduce cooldown, or explosion chance of skills target... Oh, single target explosion. More but softer explosions. Let's go for that. Some cooldown reduction seems like a good idea. Okay. Herp. Too much. Grab a smidge of that fuel. Mortar. There's the detonator. I'd love to go with a detonator, but it's probably better that I grab this. Okay, so bigger area, longer cooldown. Upgrade this. Now let's go for nuke. Let's just have the two kind of balance out. The damage isn't going to be particularly big, but if I can have it nuke whole groups, it'll be vaguely worth it. Okay, Arsenal, another Mortar. Burn chance. What I'd like to do, I mean, maybe I should give it that burn chance. That one's hard to say specifically. Okay, so we want to scoot through the gaps where there's the least amount of enemies so I don't get surrounded. And then kind of do like a fishhook effect. Okay. Single target explosion, nuke 3. Grenade launcher. I'm just gonna grab nuke 3. It's less often, but that AoE is a big... And yeah, maybe I should grab that overall burn chance. Okay, don't get surrounded too much. And what do we got? Iron Sight's detonator. Go for detonator. Proficiency with explosions. Explosion damage 8, area 0.6. I don't know if that's my own or what exactly, how that detonator works. Okay, let's just try not to get surrounded. Because we've got a wave in, like, a couple of seconds. Ow, 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 ow. Don't kill me. Nope, dead. Dang. See, also, thank you, Sparky Maple, for the Prime sub. Sorry I missed that. Was, slightly distracted. Okay, Gatling gun. I almost feel like I should try manual trigger, but I'm gonna forget to do so. Homing missiles, detonator. Let's do detonator. I don't quite know how detonator works. I was assuming detonator would specifically make it so that my explosions would do more damage, but that might not be the case. Torch, passive skill giving all kinds of buffs about burning enemies to ashes. Ooh, Burn chance, global, 15%. It might also have an AoE. So I'll have to give it a shot. Okay, increased burn damage, burn chance of all AoEs, or global burn chance. I'm gonna go for global. We don't have AoEs across the board. Okay, snag those. And I guess I'm gonna go up. Well, as a bit of a distance. Okay, so let's go for this. Burst gun. So... no, let's go for the ricochet. Always ricochet. I wanted that health. I guess we didn't need it. And yeah, I might want to try grabbing some more weapons that specifically work well with explosions and burning. Like, skip damage, burn everything. Let's grab the fuel. I don't know why I charged it into that one. Okay, aim for the gaps. Scoot around because I'm going to have to clear a lot of these guys. Arsenal, I think I'm going to keep investing in Torch. Okay, there's some much needed health. Kind of. Because yeah, it seems like whenever I get a burn proc, it explodes. Unless that's my crit. It could be. I haven't looked into how this weapon works. Okay, Arsenal, Blade, Scatter Shot. I think I might want to do Arsenal. The one thing is, if I only keep myself to 1 or 2 guns... if I only keep myself to 1 or 2 guns, then we don't have to worry as much. I think I might still want to get... probably Mortar or homing missiles. We'll have to see what other options we get. But the more weapons I stack, the more likely I am to run out of fuel. And so if I can keep that a little bit thinner, that's probably a better idea. Okay, let's head up this direction. Make a lot of untoward friends. I think that's my detonator. Oh yeah, it could be. Well, there's Mortar. Okay. But yeah, let's get the Mortar, go for big AoE and a lot of burn. Cool. There we go. And it looks like we're maxed out on upgrades. It looks like I can only carry 4, which actually makes a lot of sense, considering you can upgrade each of these quite a fair bit. Let's go for the Gatling gun for the time being. More ricochet, crit chance. Let's keep going for the ricochet. No matter what, that's worth it. Maybe that movement speed would have actually been a really good idea. I might snag that if we get the chance. Let's see. Let's get final ricochet levels, just because. Okay, where's our nearest one? Looks like it's over here. I mean, we're clearly clearing them out. I just gotta be careful. Pop that. And then there goes the invasion. Oh! What the hell are you? Oh, you're a scary boy. Looks like we're fine. Go for detonator, go for torch. I'm gonna go for torch. Let's see. Extra burn damage. I'm gonna go for the global burn chance at the moment. Oh, that went poorly. Yeah, note to self, actually grab the movement speed booster. It's very worthwhile. I'm just faster than him, but it's not as much as I'd like it to be. Please, sir, burn more. I need you to burn to death. Alright. Stick away. And we're good, but it is looking a little busy here. Because I need to carve my way into these locations. This is probably where the manually triggered expansions would work better for me. Because I wouldn't be triggering quite as many of these. And this wouldn't happen. Yeah, I think we're going to have to switch to that. I also really got to just pick a bunch of perks, because the special upgrades might actually be a really good idea. Does it show what your burn chance was? I think it was 25% by the end. Not amazingly high. Oops. Let's see, restart. It's good to see a bullet hell where upgrades aren't based on EXP or gold. Agreed. Yeah, so I can use this to be much more selective. So, we tried Torch. Torch was good. Let's see, Reload Frenzy. Movement speed faster. Well, reloading, eh. Let's see, smaller but swifter magazines. Right. Okay, that's a bit more of an issue than I thought it would be. Let's try the detonator and focus more on it. Because you're right. That explosion is just the detonator going off. Okay, which of these is the closest? Okay, being really selective with this is actually really effective. Let's see, invulnerability. If you haven't taken damage for 20 seconds. Interesting. Explosion area is increased. Or bigger explosion chance. Let's go for the, let's go for the chance. It's 1 in 10 chance to explode seems like a really good idea. Unfortunately, we don't have Ricochet yet. There we go. Arsenal, Iron Sight. Let's do Gatling Gun. Let's see, Minigun. That or damage. Let's go for the minigun. Actually, is that worth it? Wider and farther. Or do we do single target? Because I wanna see what my super or my special upgrade is gonna look like. Okay, so that's also an axe and single target. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be good, but we definitely need other weapons here. I think I prefer the homing missile, all things considered. Ow. Okay, let's just no, never mind, I died. Ow. I don't know if the Gatling is actually great for spreading it. Gatling doesn't seem to increase the attack speed. Or, well, the Gatling is. The minigun, sorry. I'm just gonna go back to automatic trigger. Manual trigger is, it lets me be clever, but I think I'm too dumb at the moment while playing this to be that clever. Let's see, Mortar. I think I'll skip Detonator if I can. Burn Chance is good with this. Crit is great with this. Arsenal is solid. 30% increase in damage, supposedly. I'm not entirely sure. It feels like the Gatling gun isn't being affected by it, because I seem to universally do about 6 damage with the thing. Does this game have meta progression? It does. However, I don't have access to it at the moment. The meta progression is locked for the demo state. Luckily, we only have to wait for a couple of weeks before it to actually come out. Let's see. I'm just going to keep going with this. Count but decreases damage of all AoE skills. Every kill. Let's go for count. 2 Mortar. Yeah, that's worth it. Okay, I lived. Somehow. Okay, Arsenal again. Heal on kill. Increased damage of AoE. Yeah, let's go for that AoE increase, just so those explosions are slightly more powerful. What I want to try is to get something up to the point where I get the special skill. I haven't done it yet, because I'm a little stingy and I try and go for other upgrades, and it's a mistake. Okay. Go for Ricochet? Absolutely. Grab that health. Got another one of these over here. Let's, be a little bit more circumspect. Because I can just bait the enemy groups out and then back off. I don't have to go, like, do the whole fishing maneuver. Which is, I think, been a major reason why I keep dying. I got distracted because I was trying to get the last one. Okay, good. We've got Mortar as an upgrade there. Snag it before anything else. Maximum health. Nuke or reduce cooldown? These are tough. I feel like Nuke is better at the moment. Okay. All we have to do is just kind of let this go, stay away from the explodey boys, and just slowly start shaving our way down. Because if, with my current firepower, I can kind of clear crowds, my big fear is if I get surrounded, because every time I do this, I get surrounded by a group of enemies who have popped up around me because I'm not quite fast enough. It gets me killed. Ricochet, Burst Gun. I'm gonna go Burst Gun. As much as another point Ricochet would actually make a lot of sense, my main goal here, to some degree, is to figure out what a final tier skill looks like. Or final tier skill upgrade looks like. Just because I know it's gotta be good, right? I hope so. Whew. Them cells grow fast. Not that fast. Fast enough to kind of dissuade me from overextending myself too hard at the moment. Okay, detonator, detonator. Okay. Because I'm hoping what this does is going to make my Gatling gun a little bit more powerful. I also just wanted another passive. Okay. Yeah, don't overextend. That is how you die. Luckily, the enemies drop plenty of ammo, so I don't need to worry too much about running out in my current state. Okay, we've got an incoming wave, and this one's probably going to be one with a mid-boss in it. Scatter Strike, Arsenal. Let's see, count, but reduce damage, AoE, or every kill gives a heal. I don't know if we have anything better than this. Because 3 count is tempting. I'm going to go for 3 count. If only because we're about to run into a big group. And I don't think I need the heal on kill. It's just not that good. Oh, the mid-boss hasn't shown up yet. I guess it's the next wave. That's good. Yeah, I think 3 count was the right call. Just have to make sure I don't get absolutely blasted here. Oh, no, there's the mid-boss. Okay, so he shows up not on an invasion. He shows up after 10 waves. Alright, another detonator. Explosion hits have a chance to burn. Explosion area is increased. We're gonna go for that. Because I'm hoping that includes Manuk. I think so. Those are pretty big hits. Only immediate problem is this mid-boss. I'm not particularly good at doing a whole lot of damage here. I'm great at clearing groups. However, he is not groups. He is a singular and slightly frustrating entity. But it's fine. I'm just going to ignore his existence for a while. Ow. Ooh. Okay, that's actually not too hard to dodge. All things considered. Let's go for the next Mortar level. If I can. Max health, single target, explosion chance. Or bigger explosion, shoot less. You know, I'm actually going to go for the max health. The single target explosion chance being like at 3% is really low. I'm sure it's actually pretty good on the mortar. Or not on the mortar, on the Gatling gun, considering how much it fires, but even then. I don't know, I already get that from detonator. I might still pick it up. Okay. This is scary. I overextended a little bit to trigger that one. Yep. At least it stops for a hot second. Oh boy. There we go. He's almost dead. Arsenal. Let's see. AoE damage. Ooh, global cooldown. Alright. Health is looking good. Boss is dead. Nothing else is too scary. And we're looking, hopefully, at some kind of special skill upgrade. Don't stand where everything explodes in your face. Alright, set it off and then immediately retreat. Yeah, I think, ooh. Why don't we actually grab Iron Sight while we're here? Because crit chance with these explosions doesn't seem like a terribly bad idea. There we go. Yeah, crit chance doesn't seem like a terribly bad idea. And this way, all of my slots are full, so we no longer have to worry about it giving me weapons, which is the one thing we do not want. I think once this game is out, I'd very much love to look into solo weapon runs, just because. Yeah, those mortar blasts are getting pretty good. Yeah, +1 count is giving you plus 33%, minus 20%, barely an upgrade. I think with the amount of enemies that it's not giving me a 33%. Wouldn't it be like a plus 50%? Yeah, it would be a plus 50%. Now the next one would be a plus 33%. Like, the diminishing returns on counts get kind of bad, except for there's so many enemies on screen that the extra coverage is kind of worth it. Okay. Stay kind of away from some of these, but... Oh, does it actually show me where my mortars were going to land? I have no idea. I thought it did for a hot second. Okay, let's grab Arsenal. Do we have a special skill yet? No, we do not. That's unfortunate. Well, do we want to just go for some more damage or reduced cooldowns? I'm going to go for big AoE damage. Because that offsets the multi-count. And potentially gets it to start one-shotting things. I don't know if we're going to get to that point. We definitely did with the crit. How many do we have? And not many drills left. And boy, the enemies are numerous. And yeah, I think that extra HP really does come in handy. Not that we're losing too much health, period, but that little bit extra really does make it less scary to wade into things. Just for a moment. There we go. Next drill. What do we got? Iron sight, detonator, or mortar? Go mortar. Let's see. Nuke, single target explosion chance. Yeah, hopefully you don't have to get every skill up to maximum just to get the, whatever the super skill at the end is, just because that's hard. Considering you only get, what, 25 upgrades over the course of this entire game, you'd have to, what, sink 11 in to one weapon. It's doable, but that's a little harder with how this game handles RNG. Hopefully it's not the case, but this might also be shorter. I'm just hoping it just needs to show up. Or, what if you only need to max one of them out? Actually, that's probably exactly it. Well, that worked. Get a nice little overdrive right as we get this swarm. Okay. Let's get the mortar. I'm just gonna get nuke 3. We might as well have the biggest dang explosions. Even if the cooldown's kind of bad, it's fine. We'll see one of the special ones at the very least. Dang, those big explosions are satisfying. Oh, that's too much. I'm glad I turned right back around right then and there. That could have gone badly. Alright. How we looking? It's the next level of Arsenal. Let's snag it. Yeah, so AoE damage or count. Let's just get counts up. What? Just keep nuking them into oblivion. And then kind of cut upwards, but then escape before they can explode in my face. Because there are a lot of enemies. They're starting to spawn at this point. Yeah, you really can actually see where the mortars are going to land. I appreciate that. It's hard to see in all of the other visual chaos, but it is assuredly there. Okay, mortar. Oh, but we haven't gotten one. Let's see. Burn chance, harder to kill. Grenade launcher. Let's just go for grenade launcher. I know my damage is down. But I think that cooldown reduction is worth it. Because burn's not useful. Like, you really have to go all in on the burn build to make it worth it. And I very much could see a mortar, like a big mortar, big low damage mortar build, actually being upsettingly strong. Because you could just use damage as a dump stat, burn everything into the ground, and just stack combustion chance as high as it can go. Like a near 100% burn chance could be pretty nutty. Okay, arsenal. Finishing touch. Damage of all skills by double. Sure. That solves some problems. Okay. This changed for the better. I can't wait to see what we get for the mortar upgrade. Please be consistent explosions, just non-stop you are a bomb. I do hope we get more variety than this. Is my only immediate worry that there aren't going to be too much lateral variety within each weapon. Like a little bit. I like the fact that you can kind of min-max the stats based on what you're looking for. But still. Oh, we got a bigger boss. Okay. Let's see. More damage, shorter cooldown. Ooh, those are tough. More damage. 35% is better than a 10% attack speed bonus. Yep. Stay away from that. That was our 20th. Okay, gotta be careful. Not too careful. As long as I'm constantly moving and I'm not moving in a short circle around the boss AoE, we pretty much don't have to worry about getting hit by it. There we go. I don't know how much HP he has left. Half. We're actually doing pretty well. And yeah, just gotta keep cruising. I apologize if the explosion noises are a little loud. It's one of those where they're just soft enough. I don't know, there's sharp explosions and then there's soft explosions. And this is more of kind of like a thunder crash in the background. So it's easy for me to disconnect. Yeah, game's a little loud. I'll pause in a hot second. There we go. Let's just take everything down by a smidge. But then the sound effects too. Yeah, the explosions do feel quite satisfying. Like, I'll give it that. Okay, so let's grab the mortar upgrade. Cluster mortar. Oh, baby. Here we go. That's what? 6 count? 7 count? That's a lot of mortars. Leave no survivors. Yeah, same, a soft thump. Like, there's definitely some resounding explosions that I cannot stand in video games, but this is not one of them. Okay, So how many drills do we have left? 3. I'll see what I can do with the Gatling gun. Let's see. Single target, burst gun. We've got those two. I'm just gonna snag the... No, we're not gonna be able to get the super upgrade on the Gatling gun. I was kind of hoping to see what I would get. I will say, it feels like maxing out the passives might be more powerful than maxing out the singular weapons, just because. I guess it depends if you're going for a 1-weapon build or a 2-weapon build. Because if you're going for 2 weapons, or even 3 weapons, obviously maxing them out is a little bit more... Well, no. If you're going for 3 weapons, you really want that singular passive that you have left to be your best. Because it applies to all of them. Whereas if you're going for a singular weapon build, yeah, you probably want that to get the most amount of upgrades. Maybe. I am glad I could beat a run of this. Every time I play one of these, like, roguelike demos, there's kind of that lingering doubt of, am I actually going to be able to finish a run of this? So I think you can just barely, looking at this now, I think you can just barely max out. Or get this super perk for 3 different weapons. Because you need, what, 5 points in 6 each? No, you could actually maybe get all 4, but only barely, and only if you invest into that singular upgrade and nothing more. I actually wish this would give 4, just because if you're gonna have 4 weapons, you might as well have 4 options. And unfortunately, oh well, I guess we'll just go for the grenade launcher upgrade. More cooldown. I should not throw the run by going to hang out in the horde, even though I'm pretty sure my my absurd mortars will prevent me from dying at this point. It's still not worth taking the risk. I guess there's like a split moment where it could actually take me out. Wow. That was intensely effective. Oh, and here's the bosses. Oh! Okay. I don't think I can leave until these are dead. Hey, you know what? That gives me some options here. We obviously need more bosses. Ow, that hurt. The only immediate problem is the bosses are going to harass me away from my loot pickups. However, big benefit, I can still continuously loot things while we kill these bosses. Whoa. That was a little spooky. I don't think they actually do as much damage as I'm afraid that they do. Let's get the iron sight. Crit rate, crit damage, crit rate. It really does not want me to get upgrades for this Gatling gun, I'm noticing. Oh, that's fine. I was hoping to see it, but oh well. Is the boss dead? Huh. It said 25 to win. I think the game decided never mind, or one of the bosses is trapped in the cell walls back some other direction. At which point, haha, I guess let's max out the Gatling gun if I can. Okay. Global explosion chance. Nah, explosion area. I'm hoping that explosion area includes my nukes. I think it does. 25 to win, you're at 22. What? I'm at 27. I mean... yeah, I don't know. I guess eventually we're going to get clobbered here by something. You're looking at the clock? Because, yeah, we're at 22 minutes here, but we're at 27 out of 25 as far as the wave numbers go. Gosh, those massive explosions. What the heck is that? That golden nugget had tentacles. Not going to be able to get that on the first pass, but that's fine. Massive explosions will sort everything out. Ha! Okay, let's keep going for detonation. Explosion damage is increased. Please tell me that includes my mortars. I think it did. Oh, that's upsettingly good. I have no idea what's happening, but I see explosions and I like it. It's a really interesting kind of top-down shooter slash bullet heaven. Where you're effectively placing down drills to mine for resources. I'm supposed to leave at the 25 mark, but we're at 28 out of 25, so I think I'm stuck here. I'm just gonna go until I've maxed out the Gatling gun. Well, actually really maxed out the detonator, my crit, and my Gatling gun. Or something to that extent. Let's see, iron sight. Burn crit rate, global crit rate. I don't even know what burn crit rate does. Is that the chance for the burn proc to crit, or is that the chance for crits to burn? I don't really like either of those. I might just have to max out my mortar just to get my Gatling gun to show back up again. Because, yeah, it does not want to show up here. Explosion that hits have increased burn chance, 15%. But we're not going for burn that much. So why don't we keep maxing out that AoE size for starters. I want to see if there's other perks other than... I want to see if there's other perks other than damage and AoE. Whoop. Yeah, I'm just gonna carve hordes out here. Some of these boyos hurt, though. But, I mean, we're getting plenty of ammo, so it doesn't really matter. Or plenty of ammo, and plenty of health. Like, originally when I first started this, I was like, oh, no, am I gonna really have to manage fuel? And the answer is... yeah, but like, whatever. Hey, there's Gatling gun. Sure. Overheat. Shoots twice with a wider shot angle. Cool. I'll take it. I think burn crit rate must be the chance for burn damage to crit, since the other interpretation is just burn chance. Yeah, that's my assumption too. Okay, so we've seen that. Do we just stick it out until we see the iron sight and detonator upgrades? I guess we might as well. Every 5th crit explodes. Sure, why not? Seeing as the more explosions I stack, the better everything is. And this area's been kind of lightly cleaned out, so as long as I don't go through the really dense bits, we should actually be able to just burn through most of these sections. I almost wish my explosions would kill cell levels. And wreck anything inside. Okay. 4th crit explodes. 4th crit explodes. More explosions! Okay. And fortunately, I'm doing I've got my desk in a standing position, which is really nice. And is, is definitely good for my posture and some other things. Unfortunately, I'm such a slouch that my lower back isn't quite used to it. So I'm just like starting to contort in weird ways as I'm standing just to stretch my back muscles out a bit. Would probably help if I was a little thinner too. Michelle's asking if I need my back brace. I think I need a different kind of back brace. One that forces me to be in good posture right from the get-go. Because, boy, fixing your posture after years of poor posture, that's hard. Necessary as you get older. My backs are kind of the worst. Yup. Need them. Yeah, I can't just be one of those people in a lounge chair the entire day being like, oh, I'm so weak. I need to get outside and do stuff. Well, I'd say I need to get outside and do stuff more often, but I go on like hour-and-a-half long walk every other day. I think it's something to that extent. It'd be nice to go like every day. But I don't know. Okay, critical explosion, burn crit. I guess let's just get critical explosion for the sake of it. Because that's even more explosions. The start of the Wander diet. I originally had been planning to start a series this year where I would specifically track kind of like a fitness plan exclusively through like playing VR games and like Ring Fit and other fitness related video games and trying to like track my... Ooh, I almost got toasted there. That was a little bit too many explosions. But I'm sad to say I'm on the second floor of an apartment, and so me doing Ring Fit would probably not be kosher. And I also don't have space for VR at the moment. Yeah, Ring Fit ain't VR, but other things. So, crit damage. Yeah, let's go for that. Can't even sit upright without pain. It sucks. I don't know if I could use a standing desk. Ooh. I don't know. You'd have to talk to a, You'd have to talk to a doctor about that one. I ain't even gonna try and weigh in. Oh. All of your tendons and ligaments and other connective tissues are too stretchy. Huh. Okay. That sounds, I mean, honestly awful, but fascinating? Okay, so let's just cut through this group. As long as we don't get hit by any of the particularly dense crowds, we're good. If I see too many enemies, I have to call it quits, though. And come back. Wandering with Wander walkabout, some Wander exercise routine. Yeah, unfortunately if I was to do, like, walkabout stuff, people would find out where I live really fast. And, like, I'm not too protective of my identity, but on the flip side, I think I would feel a little strange if people knew where I lived. Luckily, you have to get through, like, 2 locked doors to get into my, to where I currently live, so it's, like, not super possible, but even then. Okay, all-rounder sight, crit damage. Wait, there's no super perk for this one? Oh, that's interesting. Let's just go for the crit rate. We admitted live who my dad was. I talked about vaguely what he does for a living. I don't think I've ever actually said who my dad is. And there's enough people in my dad's field that you would have to sort through quite a lot of different people to maybe find which one is in fact my dad. Also, he doesn't do that stuff anymore, so he's moved on to other projects. We got a big laugh. You know, back more close to lockdown, I was sharing some of the stuff my dad was researching. And I had a couple of people specifically, and like, okay, very much I was using appeal to authority to be like, you know, my dad knows all this stuff. My uncle works at Nintendo, but, you know, like actually real. But I had a number of people being like, who is your wonder dad then? And my dad got a huge kick out of that. The fact that some people legitimately just could not accept the fact that he is a real person. Okay. I think we've run out of drills. There's probably some, but I'm not getting any notifications for any being nearby. So I think it's about time that I just charge forth and commit honorable Sudoku. Yeah, nothing's popping up. Alright, time for me to perish. Kill me! Ah! Okay. And there we go. It would have been nice to get the crit and the detonator maxed out, but is what it is. That was a lot of fun. What an absolutely charming first taste of a game. I'm curious to see what it's going to look like with the full version. Hey! So the demo has one character, 2 different choices to trigger enemy cells. It's 4 types of enemies, 1 type of boss waves, 10 unique skills, 60 upgrades to synergize. So after the demo, permanent upgrades, achievements, new characters, more skills upgrades, special upgrades, more trigger mechanisms, different game modes, points of interest in maps. Hey, that's nice. More things to do, different ways to power up, more enemy types, bosses, and then languages. Neat. Yeah, I'll definitely keep an eye on this one. It's charming. It's very bare bones at the moment, but on the flip side, I like those bones, and I want to see it fully fleshed out. It's a bit of a weird way of phrasing it, but whatever, it's fine. So with all that, I think it's time for us to move on to the next. But I'll keep an eye out on this one. It's going to be out on April 13th. So just over 2 weeks away. And I'll definitely be back then.